Good morning, y'all. No introductions today. No anything like that. Uh, I hope you had a good night. I got about 4 hours of sleep. And if you were part of my live stream yesterday, part of the after show, I said I wasn't going to make a video. But I woke up to Twitterverse and had some thoughts I wanted to talk about. And most of the time with us Lions fans, or football fans, sports fans in general, after the emotion wears off, you have the thought process, then you kind of calm down, and you may or may not be able to progress after that. But I'm just gonna tell y'all right now, this video might be a little lengthy. This is the one and only video I'm gonna make about this game. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore after this. But I'm going to put a disclaimer out there that you might not like what you're going to hear. But I want to give a special shout out to a person. I don't know if you want me to put this out there, so I'm not going to say your name. But it was something that was said to me last night, and it was a few subscribers that came and said some things that encouraged me. And I'm not the only one out there that's feeling like this. So shout out to those people. But I've got the stats pulled up here, but I don't really have them pulled up to look at them. I have them for a background. Detroit Lions fans, you can blame this game, you can blame this loss on the refs, which they had a part to play. Or you can say that we lost this game. The refs played a critical part in our game. They have been horrendous all season long. It started at the end of last season, okay? Nobody feels worse than the New Orleans Saints. Nobody. But what do? They lose in devastating fashion, so bad that they created a challenge because of this. They come back and they are currently 5-1. 4-1, 4-0 with the backup quarterback. So if anybody got the right to complain about calls, it's them. And it's the rest of the National Football League for the first 6 weeks of the season. This is the worst officiating I've ever seen in my life in the NFL. Okay? So it was some bad calls yesterday. Period. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is you cannot go to Lambeau Field. You cannot go to Lambeau Field after beating the Packers 4 straight times. And I think it's 5 out of the last 6. You cannot go to Lambeau Field and not score touchdowns. Period. I don't care if it's December. I don't care if it's October. You cannot go to Lambeau Field and not score touchdowns. That's it. So people are upset. I'm one of those people. Okay? I'm more upset with the fact that the Lions gift wrapped this game up for the Packers. Just like they gift wrapped the game up for the Chiefs. Okay? However, the defense has done the best they can with what they have. They're always on the field. All the time. You have Matt Prater he has 16 of your 22 points. That is a problem. The Lions shoulda, coulda, woulda. They should have been up 21-0. I'm not saying coast to victory at that point. I'm saying keep your foot on the gas. They were in total control. Now, if you take a look at the box score, it's small, but it's up there. The Lions scored 10 points in the first quarter. Green Bay, 0. After that, not a touchdown offensively, defensively. Sometimes these games come down to one possession. That's exactly what happened yesterday. That's exactly what happened the week before. Now, this is going to divide some people. But you guys are beautiful. Sports is amazing. It brings people together. People can agree to disagree. I'm just one man on a YouTube channel talking sports. It's a bunch of other people out there. You've got the Twitterverse. You've got everybody's entitled to an opinion, and this is mine. The Lions have to score touchdowns. Period. You've got to be able to adapt when things aren't working. I said this last night. Apparently, you could not run on the Packers yesterday. Why not do something different? So I just want to say some things to y'all. I started this YouTube game. One of the reasons that I am, the Gridiron Blitz and stuff like that is because I got tired of just watching football. So I was like, I need to find an outlet to talk about my feelings with the win, with the loss. So there's a video of me ranting about the Bears loss. Now, I wasn't nice to any Detroit Lions fan. I'm sorry, any Detroit Lions player. And especially my Matthew Stafford was not nice to him at all. Just did not feel like he played like he could have. He could have played like we know he can play. And in that video, I talked about a lot of stuff with his team. This team is like no other team in the National Football League, and I want fans to understand. And this is no disrespect to the people who go to the stadium and the people who go to every game, okay? Y'all do stuff that I can't do, okay? But you also do stuff I won't do. Now, I have on a shirt. I bought this shirt back in 2013. It's actually pretty much destroyed now. Got some grease on it somehow. I have no idea. My wife buys me, surprises me with all this Lion stuff. So she know my enthusiasm for the team. But I made a promise to myself not to go to a game until they were in first place. And they were when the Chiefs came to town. We lost that game. They had a chance last night. They lost that game. Now they're in fourth place. Okay. The NFC North is the toughest division in football. And as a Lions fan, and you got two sides of this. So your opinion is welcome. Your opinion of my opinion is welcome. But you got to understand that there are people who have never seen the Lions win. There are people who will never see the Lions win. And to be repeatedly at the bottom of the National Football League in terms of respect, in terms of, you want to know why we didn't get the calls that we should have got yesterday? Everybody was talking about it Sunday. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, they get the calls that Dak Prescott and Matthew Stafford don't get. It's sad that it's like that, but it is like that. Okay? You have to earn respect to get respect. You can't buy it. Okay? You can't do anything but earn it. And the Lions have not done that. Now, a lot of people going to come like, oh, one pride, all this other stuff. And that's great. That is fantastic. We have, why are Lions fans, why are we upset about the refs and last night? We get 16 chances. We have to wait 8 months And I say this all the time. If you're a Lions fan, your season is max 4 months, September to December. Real talk, it can be over as soon as it starts. Lions go 0-3, it's over. The Lions are now quite a ways behind the Packers. The Packers are 3-0 in the division. The Lions still have 5 division games left to play, one of them being next week. Last year, the Bears were 3-3. They wind up winning the division. They go 3-3 at the 6-week mark. The division was wide open. The division was also wide open in week 8. Okay? The Lions just couldn't make that push. They didn't have the team to make that push. This year, they have the team to make it. So it's not over by any means. But being a Lions fan, it feels like it's over. You get what I'm saying? This has been happening for year in, year out. Now, we talked about it all off season. The Lions have done something I've never seen. Okay? And Trey Flowers, he was earning his money yesterday. And to the Detroit Lions players, this is one time that I am going to say, I have a lot of respect for y'all. These cameramen were in Trey Flowers' face. They had about 17 microphones in his face. He was the only one in the locker room wearing his pads at the time. It was people talking to other people, and you could hear, check out the video, you could hear somebody say, "Get out of my face," okay? Because these guys are human just like we are, except they play the game. We pay for the game. They play the game. So they have to have a direct result of all their hard work and their injuries. They have to deal with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They have to deal with that. So my point is that if you're a Lions fan, this is what you're used to. And I cannot argue with anyone. See, if you want to use the term SOL, I'm not going to be mad at you. Now, I'm not going to use that term. Not yet. Okay? But if you want to use it, I'm not going to try to stop you, because that's not my job. Okay? My job is not to try to stop you from using it. I'm here to say to Detroit Lions fans, because I have a platform and because people apparently respect it, and thank you guys so much. You have no idea how hard it was. Well, yes, you do. You Lions fans, so you know how hard it was to go to sleep, to get up. But I said, okay, you know what? We got to move on to Minnesota. We have 11 more games left to play, so the season's not over by any means. But we cannot dwell on something we can't control. We could have controlled red zone. TJ Hockenson, love you, man. Come down in the end zone with the catch. We win this game. The defense played well. We put it in the hands of the offense. And yes, Danny Amendola did play. If I'm not mistaken, I saw him. He had one catch. Now I'm going to bring up the stats, but Danny Amendola did have one catch. But I want to talk to y'all, and I want you to look at this. Okay. Neither team was great at third down efficiency. Look at the total yards. 447. The Detroit Lions got sacked 3 times. Now, we should have sacked him at least twice. But look at the rushing yards. They ate us up in the run. They ate us up 56 yards. Packers were 25% in the red zone. The Lions were 33% in the red zone. The Lions are 50% overall. So every other time they're in the red zone, they score. But you got to be, and there are teams with a worse touchdown red zone percentage that have better records than the Detroit Lions, because it has come down to one play, one call. But what I'm trying to get and speak about to Lions fans is We need a team that comes out and never makes it this close. You're up 13-0, okay? With the potential to be up 21-0. And you lose the game. You're up. There was a stat yesterday that was on the television that blew my mind, and I'm gonna paraphrase it here. That Aaron Rodgers, what his record was at Lambeau, you got to go back and watch the broadcast, but it was amazing. It was basically saying that even with the Green Bay Packers being down by 13 after the first quarter, they come back to win so many times of these many times. And the complaint from some Lions fans is that this team does not finish games. Okay? They either can't start or they can't finish. Our offense, while it puts up points, lets us down when we need them the most. And what I'm trying to tell y'all is field goals don't win games. Y'all know what I'm saying. 5 of them, you can. There was a game that was all field goals where the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints kicked all field goals in one game. But what I'm saying is that the Detroit Lions, we are not that team. We need to put touchdowns on the board. That's it. We cannot leave it to the refs. We have to move past. Yesterday is done. It's over. The Lions had their chances to win this game, as they did with the Chiefs, as they did with the Cardinals. You're talking about a team that was up 18 points, tied with the worst team in the National Football League. You're talking about a team that beats the Chargers, who are not that good right now. So that means they weren't that good then. You are talking about a team that beat the Eagles, who are also mediocre. We get to a team with a winning record. Although exposing that team, we lose. We get to another team that they're hyping up to get to the Super Bowl. We lose. This is what we do. So you want to know where same old Lions come from. It's some grand meaning, but of where it came from. This is why that is still there. Okay? The Dallas Cowboys have beat nobody important. And neither have we. This is a game of inches, a game of possessions. We easily could be 5-0, but we're not. Came down to one possession. Every single game, even the ones we won them on a possession where Phillip Rivers throws an INT or one of the Eagles receivers drops a pass. So this team could be 5-0, 0-5. I mean, let's be real about that's how the National Football League goes. So I actually have no idea how long this video is at right now. I do not know. I'm about to end it. I'm not going to make another video on this topic. Okay? I'm here today because I realize that I have a voice and that people actually are like, you know what, Derek, I feel you, but stick around, because I was ready to. If it was not for y'all, I would shut this channel down until we was in first place. And it's not like it's just because I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I don't have I don't have it. I am not a fair weather fan. I'm not a bandwagon fan. I'm just a tired fan. I'm tired, and this team had their opportunities and they blew it. And the refs were bad. Let's be clear about that. As much as it bothered me how blatantly obvious they did not want our team to win, we have the slogan Detroit versus everybody, and it's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. You know what? I should have blown myself up. There's a reason for that. We have to come out and we have to establish dominance Every time. That's the way that, let me tell y'all a story. Story time with the Gridiron Blitz. Living in Michigan, okay, I went through a divorce. And this is personal information, but it's something I'll put out there, okay? And any man who's gone through a divorce here in the state of Michigan who has a child has probably been on the wrong end of the stick when it comes to custody issues. The state of Michigan rewarded my ex-wife with custody, and I quote, because I had a full-time job. So I walked into the courtroom. The point that I'm trying to make is I walked into the courtroom at a disadvantage, okay? It was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. As a man in Michigan with a child in a divorce, I walked in the courtroom at a disadvantage, all right? And for the next 4 years, I have to show and go back to court for what is rightfully mine, which is 50% of my son's time, all right? The point that I'm trying to make is that the Lions are at a disadvantage in the NFL. The NFL does not like the Detroit Lions. We're a small market, okay? We have not been to a Super Bowl. We're not the New England Patriots. We're not the Cleveland Browns, who everybody was trying to anoint them. We are nothing to the NFL, period. We are bad for them. They don't want us to succeed. So just like the courtroom, we have to come out and we have to dominate teams, so that we cannot leave it up to the Zebra crew, who obviously don't know what they're doing. How do you review a play? Every scoring play is reviewed. Every turnover is reviewed. But yet, a blatant, his knee is down. He's a half a yard short. Maybe he scores. Maybe he fumbles. Maybe he throws an INT. Maybe Mason misses a field goal on 4th down. But you don't obviously see that. You're reviewing the play and you don't see it. Okay. At that point, I knew this is bad. This is bad. So the Detroit Lions are at a disadvantage when they walk into the field. Nobody respects us. Nobody values us. We are at a disadvantage, just like I was walking into the Michigan courtroom. All right. So Lions fans, like it or not, this team needs to do better. This team right now is not very good. We got all this stuff on paper, but we're not very good. Now things can change and turn around. Our offense needs to dominate. The defense is doing what they can. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but it's the only one about this topic I'm going to make. There might be maybe a power rankings video, if depending on what time it comes out. I got 4 hours of sleep. I'm tired. I got to get to work soon, but we got to get past the refs. The refs are going to do what they do. There are teams that have been done worse than us by the refs, who has lost the chance to go to the Super Bowl. That team can complain. So can we. At the same time, there are a lot of things in our control. Okay? How are the Green Bay Packers worse than us in the red zone, but they get the win? Because of calls? Yeah, but we should have been up 21-0. It's a lot of bad calls yesterday. There's a call where it was 13 men on the field. Oh, we don't see that. I told you. The Lions are bad. Something is going on with the officiating, absolutely. But the Lions should have never, ever, ever let it come to that point. You're up 21-0. It's a different conversation. We could have won this game 35-23. Packers playing comeback all night. It is what it is. So, Detroit Lions fans, I'm not going anywhere. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. We're going to keep the GB rolling as usual, but this is all because of y'all. I'm telling you, because I would fall back until they are in first place. And this is when you kind of have to balance, passion and kind of work, because it's kind of, YouTube is kind of a job. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't pay at all. It's kind of like an internship, but it's work. It's physical work you have to put in. and I enjoy it. I enjoy the interaction with you guys, but I would fall back until we are in first place. But I'm here for y'all. We're going to do it together. We got 11 games left. We got to move past this. It's over. It's done. We got to go on to the Vikings, who said we were easy. So I don't know what it feels like to be a Lions player, but I know it must be terrible. They have to go back to their families and, shake this loss. They got to go back to work tomorrow, if not already today. And that has to be tough. So Detroit Lions fans, we are in this together. One pride. But I want y'all to understand the view of a regular fan who is emotional. I'm not a fanatic, but I am an emotional fan, just like I'm emotionally invested in this team, like a lot of us are. So this is going to be a long video, but it's the only one I'm making this whole week about this game. So y'all know who I am. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully the Lions can rebound and make a mark no matter what they do. Let me see. Let's take a look at something real quick. We're going to wrap this up. All right, we're going to end with this. So the Lions, yesterday, we looked at this yesterday. They had a chance to go. We're going to look at the NFC real quick. So the Lions had a chance. They would have probably been in fifth place. They would have been right around here where you can't see it because my cursor, I think, is hidden, where the Minnesota Vikings are. So that's where they would have been, which is number 5, I believe. They would have been 3-1-1. So, yeah, they would have been right around here. But instead, they're number 11. So they went from, and before yesterday's game, they were actually number 7. This is now us, last place. Okay, we got the Vikings. No matter what we do next week. Okay, we beat the Vikings. If we beat the Vikings, Bears lose, we can go back up to second. But no matter what happens next week, we can't get to first. So we blew our opportunity. That half game may come back to haunt us. And I think that the NFL is going to be calling everything our way at Ford Field the last game of the season. And it might come down to that. But we got to beat the Minnesota Vikings. Bears got to lose. Those two things happen. We're back in second place. We got new life, and then we face the Giants after that. So anyway, guys, I hope I look forward to you guys in the comments. I know y'all gonna have something to say. I cannot wait to hear it. I don't apologize for this video. It was long on purpose. Haven't done one of these in a while. This is how it used to be back in the day. We used to just make one video. It used to be 25, 30 minutes, and we got stuff off our chest. So I'm sorry for the little picture in the bottom. If I would have known I was going to do this type of thing, I would have blown up myself up a little bit. But let's move on, Lions fans. We gotta get moving. We don't have time to worry about a league that is obviously against us and is obviously horrible officiating. Like, this is the worst I've ever seen. But I really believe that the Saints got it way worse than us. Super Bowl on the line, and that call was enough to change the whole landscape of this year's National Football League. Something needs to be done. The refs need to be held accountable, but so do we. We have to put touchdowns on the board. Matt Patricia said it yesterday in his post-game conference. So go check that out. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for rocking with the GB, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, peace.